So far in this problem, we have noticed that we are dealing with a fraction and the fraction cannot be reduced. We also saw that we can slide the dx to the numerator because technically it's on top. So it can go next to the x to make it look prettier. That's what I've done so far. And so far, I've noticed that the 3 is missing from the problem. And in another video, I said that we can put a 3 there because that's a 3 that we want. But to keep things balanced, we have to divide by 3 on the outside. Since we multiply by 3 on top, we have to divide by 3 on the outside to keep things balanced. So that way the 3's kind of cancel each other out. So this is the setup so far. Now, what happens next? Well, the 1/3 on the outside is just going to stay there forever. There's no chance on earth that 1/3 is going to disappear. However, the 3 and the x squared and the dx can now all together be grabbed and transformed together into the variables du. So all those guys, they get replaced with the term du. How do I know that this is going to work? Because of my table. That's what I know. 3x squared dx all get replaced with the variables du. Then there's the fraction, so I'm going to keep the fraction bar right there. And then I'm going to look for the x cubed plus 10. What do I replace x cubed plus 10 with? And according to my table, x cubed plus 10 gets replaced with the variable u. So I'm going to grab all of them by hand and replace it with the letter u. So let me write all this without colors. This is so far 1/3 and then du divided by the u. So now the question is, what do I do to integrate the du over u? What is the answer to the whole integral with the fraction du over u? And it turns out that the antiderivative for a fraction du over u is in fact ln of absolute values of u plus c. So those ln of u plus c, they came from the integral, and the 1/3 that was on the outside just kind of like copied itself from the top to the bottom. We're almost finished. All we got to do at the end is replace the u with the original amount. What was u in the first place? According to this, u is x cubed plus 10. And there's the plus c on the side, and that's the solution of the problem. So that's the first problem where we've had to deal with some headaches, and the headaches came because the 3 was missing, so we needed to put it in there. So let's describe the steps again. So the steps are this. First of all, I look for the u. Second of all, I find what the du is. Next, I needed to figure out what's missing from the problem and put the missing thing in the problem. So that was step number 3. Step number 4 is to figure out who replaces the du. Step number 5, who replaces the u. Step number 4 and 5 are done. And now step number 6, which is integrate. Keep in mind that the 1/3 just kind of copies over. Nothing happens with the 1/3. And finally, step number 7 is to replace the u with the x cubed plus 10, because that was the original agreement that we made when we started the problem. That is the last step of the process, and that's how the problem ends.